report?
Let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something. Don't believe everything you hear.
If the intent is professionalization, like you pointed out, I mean, why does the draft place final authority in the hands of the executive
But it
rather than the
doesn't.
media council?
It doesn't. Adi is a journalist and you want to apply to get this press card to be accredited. You don't even apply to the ministry. There's a committee set up that is involving GPU, Media Council. You'll apply to them and they'll issue it to you.
That's what the information minister says. But what exactly do the documents say? On one part, the National Press Accreditation Policy states that accreditation will be done by a committee which includes the government and all media stakeholders. But on the other hand, the Broadcasting and Online Content Regulation mandates for the registration of journalists, media operators, social media users with significant public reach. All must register with PURA to operate. If you search for the word accreditation, you won't find it in the regulations. That's because it's replaced with the word registration in the regulations. The regulations gives PURA the power to cancel and suspend registrations. The Information Minister maintains the power to grant and refuse licenses. So what does all this mean? According to Information Minister Dr. Ceesay, the plan is to have an inclusive committee which includes the government and all media stakeholders. Let's listen to what he has to say.
That light, if a journalist critical of government applies for accreditation, who decides? And what prevents a refusal?
I hope you are listening to me.
I am listening.
I said the committee is set up. The committee is part of GPU and Media Council. You apply to them.
All the more reason to know who is responsible
GPU
for
and
what?
Media Council, they say that's a committee. Whether you are critical or not, that's not our problem. You are journalists, you apply, you should get it, it's your right.
And now this is where you have to pay attention. Dr. Ceesay is clearly referring to the policy and not the regulation. And as you can see, the policy is saying one thing, but the regulation is saying another thing. So which is which? The policy and the regulation are both cabinet-approved documents, but the regulation has legal grounding and legal standing. So in my view, the policy is just a smokescreen because the regulation takes priority. The regulations will introduce a new code of conduct which will effectively rival the Gambia Press Union's Cherno Jallow Charter. Accreditation and the code of conduct are two key mandates of the Gambia Press Union. But it doesn't stop there. The Media Council of the Gambia is a multi-stakeholder body comprised of the government and media stakeholders that is mandated to hear and rule on complaints about the media in relation to violations on the Code of Conduct. So this is how everything ties together. The Media Council of the Gambia presides over violations to the GPU Code of Conduct. But this whole ecosystem will be overhauled by the new regulations. No more middle ground like we currently have for the MCG. In its place will be replaced by PURA, which will have a committee that will be arbitrating over complaints for the media. When I search through the regulations, GPU is not mentioned anywhere, MCG is not mentioned anywhere, so I'm assuming that they are not part of this committee. So there are two documents saying two different things, but keep your eyes on the regulation. And strangely enough, the minister isn't saying much about the regulations. Now, one thing for sure, if these regulations come into effect, it would rival the GPU Code of Conduct, replace the MCG, and also rival the GPU's accreditation system. And in its place will be PURA and the Ministry of Information and anybody else that they decide will be part of their committee. And this, my dear friend, is how you install state-controlled media under the pretense of professionalism. If you like what we do, we will appreciate your support by subscribing to our YouTube channel, which is at Askanwi Gambia, and donating to our GoFundMe link you can see on the screen. Yusuf Taylor here for Askanwi Media with another episode of State-Controlled Media.